So I finally made it back from DreamHack, guys. Did you miss me? I missed you guys. It was tough. It was tough being away from you guys. But that being said, I had an absolutely wonderful time at DreamHack. It was quite an experience. I suppose in terms of the pro gaming scene, I could relate it mostly akin to watching a recording of a TV show. Something like that. It's quite cool to be able to see all of the production, and then of course all the pro gamers are just sort of walking about the place and you can stop them and chat to them. And you know, it's quite cool because you've seen these guys on Twitch many times before. Anyway, that's not what this video is going to be about, but if you would like me to do a more in-depth video on my experiences at DreamHack, I do have lots of pictures and videos to share with you guys, so let me know in the comments down below if that's something you'd be interested in seeing. So Christmas is just around the corner, guys. It's only, what, about 22 days away right now at the recording of this video, probably less than that by the time you guys watch. And it seems that DICE are going to be delivering the Christmas presents to us in spades this year. So in this video, I thought I would write them a little Christmas list of what I would like to see in the 6th DLC. And it does indeed seem to be the case that there will be a 6th DLC. The evidence has really been mounting up. As you all know, David Sirland has announced many times that at the end of Battlefest, which is on the 8th of December, there will be a big announcement and they have lots of exciting things to share with us. They've extended the premium calendar by an entire year, thereby indicating to us that they're going to continue to support Battlefield 4 and have premium events and whatnot. And of course there have been multiple tweets going back a few months now from David Sirland asking people which Battlefield 3 maps were their favourites, which weapons were their favourites, etc. And all of the DICE LA team have been having a little bit of a throwback, playing some more Battlefield 3. So all that evidence combined together does seem to indicate that there will be a 6th DLC. Hopefully it's going to be a free one. Hopefully it's going to include not just maps, but weapons and even game mode. So let's start here with the maps. What maps would you guys like to see from Battlefield 3 put back into Battlefield 4 for a possible free 6th DLC? Personally, I have to agree with the general consensus, and I have to say Grand Bazaar and Sen Crossing were two of the best maps. They were absolutely fantastic on Conquest, and they were equally as good on Rush as well. In fact, if they put them back, I really hope they're going to put the Rush objectives in exactly the same place and try not to change the maps up too much. Hopefully just copy them exactly the way they were, because they worked really, really well. However, one thing I do feel they're going to have to address is the difference in weapons and gadgets between the games. For example, if you take a map such as Grand Bazaar, and you think about Conquest where you have the B flag, it's in the middle of this corridor, there's a lot of people fighting around there, and previously you would be getting a lot of kills with grenades, a lot of kills with RPGs and explosives. There are a lot more of those types of gadgets and weapons within Battlefield 4. You know, you've got the UCAV and other quite gimmicky weapons like that, the airburst for example, and I feel that in a situation like that, over that B flag in Grand Bazaar, people will really be able to exploit the UCAV, especially the UCAV, because it's actually open, it's on a street level, so you will be able to UCAV from the deployment. So I think DICE do have to give some careful consideration as to how they're going to address these balancing issues. On the one hand, you do want the maps to be reflective of how they were in Battlefield 3, but on the other hand, you don't want the weapons and gadgets within Battlefield 4 to be overpowered in that same setting. Now, a couple of other maps that I would really like to see in there, one of them is Damavand Peak. Now, I absolutely loved this map on Rush. I thought the forward movement of the attacking team was so much fun, you know, going from attacking down this hill towards this base at the bottom of the hill, and the first time that I parachuted over the dam, over the cliff edge there, and down towards the next set of MCOMs, that was a real Battlefield moment. That was one of the best and most memorable maps, in my opinion, on Rush mode. So I would really like to see Damavand Peak. I think the flow of that map is really something that they did very, very well. And then of course we have other fan favourites such as No Char Canals. That was the TDM map back in Battlefield 3. That's pretty much where everybody would go to rank up their weapons and try out weapons, do gun reviews, that sort of thing. In fact, I think people were getting a little bit bored of that map and seeing it in almost every single gun review. And then there's also lots of close quarters maps. The close quarters DLC, I loved that DLC, it was fantastic. You had some really great maps with awesome flow, like Zeba Tower, you had Scrap Metal, Donya Fortress. I think those three were my favourites, and to be honest, I would have much preferred to have seen one of these maps in the Second Assault DLC over Metro any day of the week. So what about weapons in this DLC, guys? What weapons would you like to see coming back from Battlefield 3 or even Battlefield 2 in a potential 6 DLC? Personally, I would really like to see some of those great burst fire weapons that we had in Battlefield 3. So the G3A3, that was great in single shot. It had a very low rate of fire. You could use it on full auto, but I usually use that weapon very much as an anti-sniping weapon. And then of course we had the AN94, that was a favourite of many people. I mean, we do have the M16A4 in BF4, but I feel like not anywhere near as many people use this weapon as they did with the AN94 back in BF3, so maybe throw in one more burst fire weapon. I think that would change things up nicely. Now when it comes down to game modes, that is another thing that I have sorely missed from Battlefield 3, and I would have to say that my top 2 game modes that I would like to be added to Battlefield 4 would be Scavenger Mode and Gunmaster. The reason for that is that I feel we really have enough objective-based game modes in Battlefield 4 already. You know, Obliteration, Capture the Flag, they all revolve around capturing some certain objective and playing together as a team. But what I think really changed up Battlefield 3 was having game modes like Gunmaster, which was essentially a team-based game, but you really work towards your own end. You started with a pistol, and every time you got around 1 or 2 or 3 kills, depending on the weapon, you would upgrade your weapon. And eventually, towards the end, you would have to get kills with the LVG grenade launcher, and the final kill, I believe, was a knife you had to get. And that was pretty darn hard to get that last one, but it was really about being in the top position and actually winning the game. And then of course Scavenger Mode really changed things up as well. Once again, you started with nothing but a pistol, and you would pick up weapons that you would find on the floor. Once you picked up a weapon, you only had maybe 1 or 2 clips for the weapon itself, and you would need to either find an ammo cache that were stationed around somewhere on the map, or you would need to pick up another weapon. Whilst these weren't heavily objective-based game modes, I thought they were really fun. They weren't my most played game modes, but I always found them fun to come back to, just to let off a bit of steam and relax with some friends. So those are a few of my ideas of game modes, weapons, and maps that I would like to see in a BF3 themed style expansion for Battlefield 4. Of course, do bear in mind that all of this is speculation. It may be complete bollocks. There may be no 6 DLC at all, but to be honest, if the only announcement that DICE have to make at the end of Battlefest is that we're all getting 100 gold battle packs, I think the community will be pretty pissed off. So I am expecting something at least this big. I do really like that DICE have decided to obviously support Battlefield 4 for another year by extending the calendar, and they're going to have it running alongside Hardline, and Hardline isn't just going to overrun it, much like Battlefield 4 did with Battlefield 3. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. By all means, leave comments down below. Let me know what you would like to see in a potential 6 DLC. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.